So it's so crazy because I was having a conversation with my mom about how a lot of the people at her job are on anxiety medication. And she's like, yeah, I feel like the younger generation is just like, a lot of them are on medication. It's pretty weird. Like, and they just will tell you that openly. And, you know, and we were just talking about how, like, that's such a strange phenomenon because there used to be a stigma around being on crazy person medications, but now I guess it's just like a normal, regular thing. And I think that is absolutely not okay and should not be normalized. But yeah, so that happened, right? And then I went online this morning and I saw Grant Cardone talking about anxiety and depression, and he said some really amazing things, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is crazy. So now I feel like I have to talk about it. I think it's crazy. I'm going to share a very vulnerable story. People are going to judge me, and you know what? It is what it is, okay? Because this is my truth and this is how I feel. I used to be very, very depressed. And I guess I would say more depressed than anxious. My coping mechanism is more to like withdraw from the world more than anything else. So I wouldn't call myself like anxiety because I'm not high functioning when I'm stressed. So I was very depressed. Like, I hated myself. I hated my life. I felt like nobody liked me. Like, you know, all the, you know, teen angst. It is what it is. So I felt like that. And one time I decided I was going to commit suicide unsuccessfully. And honestly, not wholeheartedly. Like, I didn't give my whole self to this. It was just like a really stupid decision. So my dad was pissing me off. He was being a typical dad. He didn't want to let me wear the outfits that I wanted to wear. He said it was too sexy. I couldn't wear that. Blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't let me go out with my friends. And he was just like obviously ruining my life. Obviously. This is heavy on the sarcasm. But at the time, that is really how I felt. So like, my dad's ruining my life. He doesn't let me be me. I have no freedom. I'm so oppressed, blah, 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 blah. And my dad was just really making me mad. And I was like, you know what would really just show him? I was like, I should just kill myself. And I should write a sassy letter that's like, you ruined my life. And I was like, that will really be the revenge that I need in this moment. Like, no, literally, that's how I was thinking and feeling at that time. Because I thought that the world revolved around me. I thought that his life couldn't go on without me. I thought that what I wanted was the only thing that mattered. Like, I literally I was not zoomed out at all. I was just zoomed in on my specific emotion at that time. I was selfish, childish, and immature, right? So I took like some pills or something. I don't even know what pills they were. They were just like in the cabinet, probably some Tylenol or something. And I don't like taking pills, so I maybe took like 5 or like 6 or something. Like, I didn't really know anything about suicide or anything like that. So yeah, I took some pills and then I went to sleep. And I thought I wasn't gonna wake up again. I was just like, okay, this is just what we're gonna do. So I took the pills, and then obviously I woke up again. They were probably like vitamin B pills. Like, I really don't know what they were. Yeah, I don't know what they were, but I took the pills and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I was like, what the heck? Like, I thought I was gonna be dead. And I never really did that again. And I still had like lots of bouts of depression. Sometimes I still get depressed, honestly. But I wouldn't say I have depression. Even back then, I didn't have depression. I just was prone to feeling depressed because I was selfish, I was immature, and I was way too zoomed in on the problem that was currently presenting itself in my life, instead of looking at my life as a whole and looking at the world as a whole, and me just being one little part of that. Or like the universe as a whole, and me just being one little part of that. And so I really feel like anxiety and depression is a decision. Like, everyone's gonna feel anxious. Like, that is an emotion. Everyone's gonna feel depressed. That is an emotion. Like, it's an experience. Like, it's part of the human experience. You are gonna feel that way, and it does suck, and it's not fun, and you're gonna have to let it pass and move through it and keep going. But like, listen, like, that's life. Like, why are you gonna just go get on medication? And I mean, I feel that way about everything. Every time I get a little common cold, I'm not gonna run to the doctor and start taking a bunch of medication. I'm not gonna go to the CVS and start pouring all this medication into my things. Like, I trust my body. I trust myself. I know that God does not present me with anything that is meant to take me out. And if it is the end of this lifetime here, then I trust that that's my end of this lifetime here, and I'm being called to do something else. I mean, like, I think that drugs are a cop-out. It's an easy way out. It's escapism. It's putting your life in the hands of someone else that you think knows more than you about your body. I think that it is laziness. In the comments on Grant Cardone's post, a lot of people were saying, like, depression is not just laziness. Those are not the same things. But really it is, because if you're really feeling depressed like that, instead of going to the doctor and getting on a bunch of medications that will just numb you and never really address the real issue, you could go on YouTube and look up, like, how to not be depressed. You could go on Google and look up how to not be depressed, and you could find people who have gone through what you've gone through and have overcome it, and you can start doing those things in a healthy way. Are those things easy? No. Are they instant? No. Would it be easier to just pop a pill and go numb and be a zombie in your life? Yeah, probably, but not really. That's not easy at all, because eventually the pills are going to stop working. Eventually, like, you're just never going to feel better like that. You're just going to numb the issue. You're going to expect everybody to accommodate you and your depressing attitude. And nobody wants to be around somebody like that. They just don't. Like, man, I don't know. I feel like one of those old people. I'm like, listen, like, the way I was raised, like, that's not an option. Like, yeah, you can just kill yourself if you want to. My dad says that all the time. Like, you should just kill yourself. Because if, like, life is not always easy. Like, things are going to be hard sometimes. Sometimes you're going to feel pain. Sometimes you're going to feel sad. Sometimes you're going to feel all kinds of things. Focus on where you're going and what you want to do in the world and the person that you want to be. Don't just run to the doctor for a pill to numb the pain. That is such an easy, weak cop-out. Maybe you should just kill yourself. If you're not going to contribute anything to the world, you're just going to be here and be depressed. Wake up. Go to church. Read a book. Take somebody on a nice date. Do something. Being in divine sacred service is the best cure for depression, because when you are in service, when people are depending on you, when you know that you are offering something beautiful and wonderful to this world, you are not going to feel depressed, because that is not an option for you. People are depending on you. You have to show up. You can't just lay in bed depressed all day. You have to show up. You have to do the thing that you said you were going to do. And I know, like, I have days where I'm like, you know, it's a lot, and I'm like, I wish I could just stay in bed. I wish I just would not even wake up tomorrow. I've thought that recently, literally, because I don't know how the next day is going to be. And I'm just like, I guess, anxious about it. I'm like, I hope I just don't even wake up tomorrow. But if I do wake up tomorrow, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my best. Even if some days my best is shitty. Like, I go to the gym. Some days I go to the gym and I'm on it. I'm in there for 2 hours. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm, like, fired up. Some days I go to the gym and I can barely do a push-up. But at least I went, and I'm going to stay, and I'm just going to do a couple things. And if that's how my workout went that day, that's how my workout went that day. That's okay, but at least I showed up. I didn't just go try to get a BBL or try to take some fat loss pill or something, the lazy, easy escapism cop-out thing. And I know this is very controversial. I know that this is not what a lot of people want to hear. They want to hear, oh, I'm so sorry that you're depressed. Some people do need to be on medication. But that's just not how I was raised. That's just not the world I believe that I live in. And that's not the way that I see God. Like, no, get it together. Get it together. It's not okay to be on anti-anxiety medication. It's not okay. It's never been okay. Get your ass up and do something and find what you're passionate about and try a little bit harder. We're literally living in the age of knowledge. Anything that you want to know, you can know. So the fact that you're just going to sit there and be all depressed and anxious, listen, you're never going to win. You're never going to win, because there's going to be people like me who are seeking the knowledge, doing the things, showing up in the best way that they know how. Am I perfect? No. Is everything going well for me? No. Do I know that it's going to work out? No. But I woke up today and I decided to show up instead of laying in bed and being depressed. I decided to see things in the best way possible. That's all I can do. That's literally all I can do. I decided to be grateful. I looked at the sky and I was grateful. Is the world perfect? No. Is it ever going to be perfect? No. There's always going to be a new level to seek to. But just show up, do your best, and pray. I think a lot of people are living a godless life, and that's another reason that people are depressed and anxious. Go to church. Go to church. Watch church. Meditate. Do something. Anything. Literally, there's like Tom Bilyeu, he has a show called Impact Theory. I've been watching it since I was in college. It's so awesome. So I've been watching it for like 6 or 7 years. I love it. There's literally so many studies about depression, about how diet can cause depression, about how sleep patterns can cause depression. Like, there's so many habits and lifestyle choices that contribute to the way that you feel in your body and in your mind. Like, depression is literally a choice. Like, you can easily make different lifestyle choices. Okay, maybe not easily, but you can easily access the information to begin making different lifestyle choices. And then if you are committed to staying alive and living your life, then you will consistently move towards your desired outcome. And if you're not going to do that, then just kill yourself now, because what the fuck? Literally, like, if you're not going to live your life, don't be here as a zombie. I don't want to be around zombies. I don't want my kids to grow up around a bunch of zombies on anti-anxiety meds, just numbing themselves to the world. Like, either decide to live your life and do everything that you can to live to activate your best self, or just drop out now, because you're never going to win. And the world doesn't need any more depressed, anxious people. We just don't. Get it together. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to feel depressed or feel anxious. We all feel depressed and we all feel anxious sometimes. That is part of the human experience. It's just something that we go through. But to call yourself, I am depressed, I am anxious, that is a totally different thing. And to go put yourself on medication for those things that's just like too far. You've taken it too far now. And that's all I have to say on that. I love you guys. Stay beautiful. Live your best life. For my people who resonate with me, I know that you're always going to keep doing your best. You're going to always be spreading your love, spreading your light, and moving towards your highest self. I love you guys. You've got this, and I'm proud of you. You can do this. We've got this.